Okay, folks, it's 6:30. I'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have no scheduled speakers. Meeting minutes on the file. We have the public hearing from September 12th.
I make a motion to accept the September 12th public hearing minutes as drafted.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And then the regular meeting from September 12th.
Motion to accept September 12th meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Will you make those changes that we suggested? Because I'm scanning fast for them. Okay, you did it right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any public comments? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we got, that's it.
No,
Peter?
You can go first.
Oh, go for it, Peter.
Okay. I just want to bring up again the signs for the road on Bryce Drive. There's no construction signs on that at all. Also, dust control is not being done on the road, and that was agreed upon, I think, with you guys at the meeting on the road at one point. I do have the dates if you want me to look it up.
Okay.
It is in your minutes that you would do dust control, and it has not been done. Also, one of the neighbors down there decides instead of putting stakes in the road, he's decided to do dirt piles. He's raking his dirt piles out into the road, so there is, but they're really not dirt piles, they're actually rock piles. So I think that something needs to be addressed there before somebody gets hurt, or a car hits it, or something. That is a safety concern, and it's an issue. Also, yes?
Just, I'm sorry to interrupt. Dirt piles in the right of way, like where the road is?
Yeah, well, they think it's their property, I guess, but
Okay, well, that's similar to when the stakes were put in.
the same place,
They were
same
removed.
thing,
Okay,
but that is an issue.
okay.
It's traveling at nighttime, people going up and down that road. Somebody hits that rock pile or dirt pile or whatever it is, they could cause injury to themselves,
Got it.
and the town would be responsible. Also, on my other side of me, that they're using the right-of-way as an extra driveway. They're parking across, in the right-of-way because they can't fit their cars into their driveway because they have 4 cars over there, 2 trailers, well, actually 2 travel trailers, 2 trailers, plus they have last week they also had a tent up there too. So,
Are they parking on your property or just in the right of way?
no, in the right-of-way.
Okay.
But they're doing it every day, all the time.
Okay.
I had to take my trees or bushes or whatever else out of the right of way, but they're allowed to park there all the time as a driveway. And also, I would like to know what is the last day to get asphalt from the asphalt companies or whatever else.
I've received 2 dates. I've received October 15th and November 1st, so it's sometime in October.
Well, I've received 2 dates too.
Okay?
I've received Thanksgiving, weather permitting, and the second week of December, weather permitting.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. You done?
I am done.
Okay, we got a letter of, I might as well do it now, a letter of insufficiency from Mark Stengel. It's an official notice that we have to take a look at some of the issues you raised.
Mhm.
And we have to do within 72 hours of being compliance with the RSA. So I would suggest that we meet as a board down there with the road agent within 72 hours and take a look at these things and see what we want to do, whether we think they're hazardous or not, and then get back to Mr. Stengel. So we'll set that up for later this week.
Okay, but we have to notice the meeting 48 hours in advance, so.
24, but you're right.
No, I'm sorry, I thought it was 48 hours, yeah. So we should probably
So it's gonna be your schedule.
Okay. You want to do
Thursday?
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 Early?
What time?
What time? I'm working in the morning, so can we do in the afternoon, like 2?
That's early.
Or do you want to do?
All right, we'll figure it out, post it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be Thursday sometime. We'll get there.
So you thinking Thursday morning, Rick?
I was, yeah.
Like, okay, like what time?
As early as you want. 7?
Okay, 7 o'clock.
7? Can you do 7?
He's not.
Sure.
He's a farmer, he's always up early.
Okay.
That's right.
Would you please post that 7 o'clock down in Bryce? We'll take a look at this. Okay, thank you.
Can I make a suggestion that we ask the road agent to move those piles on the road?
Sure.
Because they're in the right of way, so we have the right to move them. I say we get down and scoop them and get them out.
All right, I agree.
Okay.
If they're a hazard, we don't have to wait. I mean, if you see a hazard down there, we gotta deal with it. And Mr. Evans.
Yes. In the discussions about the 250-acre property that we own, I've been a big supporter of the idea of doing a forest management plan with a certified forester doing it. And in all the discussions that I've attended, the thing that seems to be missing is some idea of what it would actually cost and what the proposal would look like. You may remember that Wendy Scribner recommended it. The biologist the other day with the Conservation Commission, I don't think she specifically said you should do it, but indicated that usually the biologist works with a forester on a forest management plan. So I went ahead and drew up a request for proposals to send to 10 certified foresters that are within roughly 40 to 50 miles. I have the list if you want to see it. I went through the whole state of certified foresters. Some are just over the border in Maine, but most of them are in New Hampshire. And as you can see in the second paragraph, I spoke to my own forester, and he said you need to make sure that these people understand that this is not a bid process, because there's no commitment on the part of the selectmen to fulfill it. It's the whole reason for the request for proposal is to get some idea of what's the range of what it would cost. So if you could read it and see if you're agreeable to it, or if you have any changes. I also passed it by Mary Lou because she has more experience with doing requests for proposals.
You okay with the topic?
Yep, fine.
Yeah, I think it's a great move.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
so I'll send out, I'm gonna probably send it all hard copy, even though some of these guys have emails, because I don't want to send it from my home email, so I figure I'll just send it in a town envelope. I have some left over from when we did the invitations for the coffee. And, or if you prefer, Lori can do it, but I'm happy to do it. She's probably got enough to do.
Or if you want, we can mail it from the selectmen's login from the town if you'd like.
Okay. So why don't I, by tomorrow morning, pull together the email list? And I'm pretty sure almost all of them have emails, some have websites. And I'll send you the Word document to administrative assistant tonight, so you'll have it. And that way it can go out electronically. And then I have a map that I can put out on this table during the hours that things are open here. It would be helpful, you have a map, I think, that where the entire property is on one page. I just have the 3-page version. if you can get me a copy of the single page, that would be more efficient to have
Okay.
out.
So I think I have the electronic version of like a 8.5 by 11 page. Is that the one you're talking about?
What I'm thinking of is a 24 by 36, that you actually had it out for the biologist at the Conservation Commission. And I heard that there's several copies of that.
We made 10 copies.
Okay. And you have a 8.5 by 11 electronically?
Yeah.
Could you send that to me?
Yeah.
Want this posted on our website also? Or do you want to restrict it to the 10 people that you want? to see?
No, I don't want to restrict it. I mean, it's certainly for anybody
Okay.
who wants to do it.
Okay.
We,
So we'll put
you
that
know, I
on.
may have missed somebody.
Fine. That's
Great.
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Treasurer, any other comments? Treasurer?
So we currently have a little over $700,000 in the bank, and I'm going to ask that I have approximately, plus regular bills, we owe the school, the county, and at least one payment to Wakefield, so I will owe by the middle of November $341,000. So my thought is if I move 350 out to the thing by the middle of November, we should start getting money in for the new tax rates within a, all right. I can always pull it some back.
Our goal is to get the tax bills out early in November. Now, some people do pay early,
Yeah,
but the bulk of it will come in after 30 days.
yes, I understand.
Okay?
I can always pull some back.
Okay?
It's gonna be an in and out thing.
Yep.
So I'll probably write a check with this batch of checks to move that amount of money, 350.
And I think they had 3% return on their investment last year, if I
Yep.
remember correctly.
We have a new MS 535 to be signed after the meeting, and I also received from the portal, the state portal, the amount that we will owe Carroll County next year will go up. This year we owe them $129,746 for 2018. We will owe them $131,144, so up a couple $1,000. So that's been set. And
Okay. I don't know how they do that because our property values change, but okay, that's what they're.
well, they haven't said what our tax rate will be to collect that. That's just the amount the county, we will send the county.
Based upon our evaluation.
Based upon our
Total
evaluation
value
and stuff.
Per the RSA, right?
Yes,
Because we were working that issue.
yes.
Okay.
So I think that's it for me, other than bills later and one check.
Okay, thank you. No tax collector here. Laura, you have anything?
I think the only thing I have tonight is I heard from Rick that we do have a volunteer for the newsletter.
Excellent.
So I have supplied all the information
Good.
for her to get started.
All the information?
Awesome.
Contact information, a template, deadlines.
Oh, deadlines, okay.
Will you send me one if you haven't already?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
That's it for me.
Okay. Planning board? No, you do have something, go ahead. Well, Rick's here too. Rick was there
Would you
too.
like to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the quick meeting report from September 21st, the planning board. We had an informal discussion with a resident about a lot line change for property that he wants to put in conservation. And we decided that until the master plan is completed, we're going to create an ongoing public hearing, which will be recessed and then convene the next month, so we can keep working on the master plan and get it done.
So that will be before every planning board meeting,
Correct.
6 p.m.
Yeah. And then if we have regular business to do, we can have that on the agenda, but we'll always have that public hearing on the agenda, so the public is invited to come to discuss and to be involved in the entire process, including the survey and any ideas with the master plan itself.
And the regular planning board meeting will commence once the public hearing is complete.
Correct. Okay, did I leave anything out?
Is there going to be any PR in the newspaper about this, letting the public know?
The public hearing will be noticed as an official public hearing, so it will be in the newspaper.
How about something like an article that you're undertaking the master plan? A lot of people don't read the public notices.
Oh, you mean a separate, like a letter to the editor or an article or something?
An article, a news release to the editor that you're going to be holding every month a public hearing on the different aspects. I think it would be good information for the public to know.
I agree.
To tell you the truth, I don't think very many. And which newspaper do you notice it in Dover?
I think we do Foster's,
Foster's.
and where else? We do Foster's,
Granite State.
Granite State, and Carroll County Independent, or just?
Granite State.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I would do a news release to the Granite State, not to Foster's, but just to the Granite State. I think it's a real important item that as much public should know about.
At this point, we set up a public hearing, so at that, we can probably start getting together newspaper articles and press releases. Plan boards.
It's a good idea, and I will bring that back to the planning board so we can discuss that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And when are you gonna do that? What day?
At our next,
Next
it's
meeting.
usually the third Thursday of every month.
They could actually put it in the newsletter too, I think, just to remind people that that's happening or whatever else too.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Code enforcement officer.
I'm in hopes that you selectmen have 3 intent to cuts.
I'll sign.
Okay. Are they all signed?
Yep.
Oh, excellent. So I have that issue. Couple of small minor permits, addition, breezeway and garage addition, and that's about it for that stuff. A lot of people, there's a lot of ongoing projects, so people are finishing them up.
And road agent.
So we started getting our fall request for salt. I filled out one where I was missing the other. They're gonna send me another copy, and then we'll get signed up for our bulk salt. And that's on the list pretty soon, is to get the sand and salt mix, get the shed filled up. I've been screening for down at the sand shed, to move a lot of that material, get it screened out into the screen pile and just open it up and clean it up out there. So, and around, depending on the weather, around the second week of October, I should do my final round of grading for the dirt roads. That's my intention for that. So.
Okay.
Is there a list, or could someone take a look around town for missing street signs? I know there's one.
Yeah, we
I don't know
can
if there's any
make a
others.
list. Yeah,
So we'd like to
we
get
have,
them.
we have an ongoing problem with a few,
Yeah.
yeah.
If we could get those on, well, you know, for 911, we have to
Sure.
have that.
Sure.
The issue was when we had the fire and tumble down, the fire trucks from out of town couldn't find the road.
It's one of the missing ones.
That's right.
Yeah. So
So-
that's the most popular sought after sign.
That's a challenge to keep that one there. But that's the challenge we're expecting you to rise to, right?
Yeah.
Solve that sucker.
Look for material,
Well,
like welding wire or something.
I actually, because the brackets are aluminum, and they used to just come up with their own Allen wrench and back the screws out and leave the bracket there and just take the sign. And then the last couple times, we drove the Allen screws in and then ground them out, so you couldn't back them out, and then they just sat there wiggling back and forth until the aluminum bracket snaps. So I think the answer is going to be to weld one up out of steel
Yeah.
and through bolt it and grind the bolts so you can't get a,
So they'll take the whole thing,
they'll
right?
have to take the post, which we've had them do that too.
If they concrete that in with something, then make it challenging.
Yeah.
We're having an issue with pole placement on Bryce Drive. And there's some confusion, it seems, as to where that property line is.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with clarifying that.
Right.
So my thoughts are, and these are just my thoughts, we have to discuss it. We have a surveyor come in to represent the town and find that pin for us.
Sure. I think it's a great idea.
What do you folks think?
I think we should do the whole section of road,
Well,
complete survey.
we had the center marked down, we had the center highlighted a couple of years ago.
Well,
At this point, I think it would
That's
be
been
wise to start at square
over 4
one
years ago.
and just get this thing done.
Well, I guess we could, I mean, it
I
shouldn't,
know,
it shouldn't be a lot of work for him, because he's done it once, so he has most of the work in his notebook. So what do you feel, Brian?
I agree with Rick, we should start at the top and work our way in. And just get it all done, so we can just,
Get this finalized and approved by whoever approves this stuff.
Okay.
do you want to entertain the notion of having the other 2 roads in there done at the same time?
Which two?
Piney and Palmer?
Well, we've got an issue on Palmer already that's been raised, that we have blacktop on someone's property. We have to move that. Do we have to survey it to have it moved? Are you gonna, what do you think?
Well, in lieu of the issues that have come up on Bryce Drive, I think it would be wise to get a current survey of the whole place.
Okay.
It's gonna cost some dough, and it will probably go on the next budget, but I think as a town, we have to do it, just get this squared away.
Okay. Brian, what's your take on it? Do Piney and Palmer?
I'd rather just do Bryce right now and deal with Pine and Palmer next season. I don't know, so how much money would we talk when I get this done?
Thousands, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be thousands.
I don't really want to start kicking that kind of money out the door right now. That's why I'd like to get Bryce's done and then deal with Pine and Palmer, because we all know Pine and Palmer need to get done. But maybe tackle that next year. We could probably get Bryce done pretty quickly if we could get somebody in there.
Well, I guess I'd go I would do Bryce and Palmer, because we know there's some issues cooking on Palmer right now.
Maybe we should get proposals for Bryce Palmer, and the whole thing, and see if there's any savings in getting them in once, rather than 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use White Mountain? No, we use
Land.
Land Tech, it's got all the work.
Are there any survey companies in the state that specialize in roads and layouts, or they all do everything?
They all do that sort of stuff. The majority of them will do that stuff.
There's no one out there that specializes in roads?
No.
We've used Land Tech in the past on that road, so we have most of the markers down in his notes where they are, so.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's no markets, we're starting.
He's done records.
scratch.
He's
Those
done
are in
records.
question
He's done-
anyways.
Right, so we're starting from the very beginning, that's what I'm
Right.
proposing.
But those markers that you put down are in question.
Excuse me, whoop, public comment's over.
Okay.
He's done some work in the past based upon the monuments that laid out the development.
Right.
And you can build off of that in the future.
Okay.
So I think we should build off of that and let him do the work.
Okay, it's all certified and official
Oh, yeah,
He's licensed.
He'll stamp
and
it.
traceable?
Yeah. So it's not clear how much we're doing Bryce for sure.
Yes.
The question is, can we get the blacktop on the right of way without a survey?
I wouldn't.
I guess I'm confused.
There's,
Yeah, wait a minute, jumping around.
there's,
If we're gonna pay for, yeah,
Oh, can we remove the blacktop without a survey? Is that what you're asking?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We could, my hesitation is there is a pin in the blacktop.
I know
So for now, I would not touch that until the Bryce is done.
it. Okay.
That would be,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's a separate issue.
All right, see what he can do on Bryce is where we're going, Bryce.
So Ed's gonna contact Larry?
I don't know, yeah, I'll contact him.
Okay.
We want a full survey of Bryce Drive.
Yes.
Well, to the intersection, we don't need to go down over the hill, do we?
To Palmer.
To Palmer.
To Palmer. Okay.
and there's been some litigation, he's gotta check that documentation, he knows.
Yeah.
Because he's
I'm sure it's all, I'm
restaked it,
sure it's all registered.
he's restaked it, and we'll
Yeah.
see where that takes us.
Yeah.
Also, please inquire for
About the other two?
Palmer and Piney
I will.
as a possible add-on, or also.
Because part of the work, he may have to triangulate off from some of them back pins anyway, so if he's doing that, if he knows it's coming, he'll, you know, it might save, I don't know. I'll just discuss it with him.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Ed,
Yep.
two quick things. The dust control is something that we did say we would.
Yeah, we said we'd do it when necessary, and
So
now,
it's
now
been
it's, it
pretty dry
is
this
pretty
fall.
dusty now, so.
So we could hit that.
Yep.
The other thing, real minor, the lip of where our parking lot meets the road.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's getting pretty nasty. Can we grab some of the fill and
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
ease the bump?
Brian, you
Yeah.
writing this down?
What's that?
You writing this down?
It's all right, yeah.
Thank you.
We should put it on our list.
There you go.
All right.
You can always call me at our house.
Okay, Conservation Commission. There's no one here from the then there hasn't been a meeting. The letters from Tom for what? Election?
Cemetery trustee.
Cemeteries. Heritage Commission,
So the Heritage Commission is gonna do another Veterans Day dinner. This year, Veterans Day, it's a potluck. And we'll be getting the posters up and the information to the town website. It's already posted on the calendar for the town website, but we'll be getting more information up in the next couple weeks. So it's usually a potluck at the townhouse, and we will have some entertainment afterwards, a patriotic program. So,
okay.
We have a date?
November 11th falls on the date this year.
Okay.
Cemetery
Yes, I see
trustees
question.
was a meeting. Do you want to comment on that meeting?
Usually start at 5.
They met Thursday, this week. Had a visit by a couple of local people in town that are talking about what kind of stones they can use on the plots they purchased. Additional plots were sold.
Bob Nielsen volunteered to help out
He did.
with cemetery
Maintenance?
et cetera.
Yes, he was offering, thank you, he was offering to do some cutting of some of the grass on the private cemeteries in town. Volunteered to do that. I think he volunteered.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't going to pay it, I don't know.
Did now.
And this is from Tom for cemetery.
Yes.
And it's from Tom Hill, and he says, unfortunately, due to an increased family responsibilities, I am resigning from my elected position as a town Brookfield Cemetery trustee effective on this date. I feel under my current circumstances, I cannot give the position the time and effort it deserves, which will puts an additional burden on the remaining trustees and alternates. So, we have the responsibility of finding a replacement for that.
Yes.
So, I guess we should put something on the website that we're interested in. Someone stepping up to fill a position for the, I gotta read it again. Fill that position, I don't know whether it's for the duration of the term or for 1 year, I don't know. Whatever it says in the RSA. Is it donation?
I think it's the duration of the term.
I don't remember. But we have to appoint somebody, that's our job. Any other boards and committees? No. Census follow.
Other boards, do you have something, Brad?
It's down in the register.
Oh, sorry.
So what do you want to do in the census follow-up?
I don't know. Can you remind me how this was going? I don't know.
Is this something that we have or have not done in the past?
Well, we're getting ready for the 2020. So they're starting to run all these training sessions, so the question is, are we participating in scrubbing data?
Yeah, because there was nothing we had to do, right?
Well, no, it's the 2020 census. We have to do that.
Well, no, I know we have to do that, but right now, there's nothing mandatory we have to do, right?
There's nothing mandatory, that's correct.
I don't see it either.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we have to
So
do
we won't do it then. We won't do the training. All right. Now we go to Brad. And help me. We've got two plans, the emergency management. Well, you had other questions about, you hit me the other morning about budget first. Do you want to do budget first? You were questioning whether there was money in your budget
Sure.
yet for the fire ponds.
Correct.
And I said, yes, and I said I couldn't make any decisions until we hit a board meeting.
Right. I was wondering the status, there was $2,000 appropriated for dry hydrant review and begin maintenance on. I was asking Rich if that money was still available, how that had been handled. However, since then, I've talked to Wakefield Fire Department. And this summer they went around and they flow tested each one of the dry hydrants that's in service. And they passed without a problem.
Really? That's good
Yeah.
news. All five of them? Or the
Mhm.
ones, how many, well, you tell me,
Moose Mountain,
you tell me a story.
Goodrich. The one they didn't get was Dr. Marsh's in Wolfboro, but I have no question about that. It's a very reliable source. So you've got Goodrich, you've got Trial Belknap.
Pyre, but that fast?
Yeah.
There's no standpipe there, is there?
Yes.
There is,
Yeah.
down by our cemetery.
Yeah, down, right down the hollow.
There's a standpipe?
Yes.
Okay.
So those,
In Chickaroni?
Grandview, no, that one has not been operational.
Yeah.
And the
And there's
recommendations
no
are-
standpipe on that
And it's a little bit marshy.
Hmm?
And there's no standpipe.
Chickarooni's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
I thought he,
No, it's off in the.
No, last I saw it was still there, which was
Okay.
not too long ago, but
Uh,
there was questions of whether he wanted us to use it.
Well, he'd like us to use it, he's tried to maintain the end of it in the water. However, the pipe is broken between the two places. You put water on it and push it, it comes up in the middle of his lawn. So that's not so good. Just as a quick bit of history on that.
So they know that's not usable, right? That we should make sure that it's not considered in service.
Correct. It needs to be removed
Yes, or fixed,
or fixed,
but not left inoperable.
out of service.
Right, someone's gonna hook up to it and just ruin their pump.
Correct.
Who does that? Who does that?
Takes them out.
Or just, who declares it, who marks it as not being in service?
Either the town or Wakefield Fire, either one.
Yeah,
Just take it out.
but we need a name. The town is too generic. So is that you?
Sure. I'll do it.
Is that all right if he does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, shut that thing up. Can't use it as bad.
The initial intention, we did have a hydrant to put in there, which I believe Gary still has in his possession. The thing is, it would require dredging in the pond. And at the time, I had a belief that I still have, that I don't think the town should be investing money in anybody's property without a guarantee of use. Under RSA, we have the authority to use whatever we want as a water supply in a time of need. But then does it become an enhancement to the property? Is that something the town should really be doing? So my request is the town receive like a 10-year easement to the pond so that we can spend town money on it. And Gary was very hesitant to go along with that.
Fine.
So it was never improved.
So it's a private property, it's fine. Okay.
So that takes care of that, so we don't need to go in with a diver and check underwater and so forth. I'm comfortable with the test that Wakefield did,
Good.
that the hydrants are working.
So that's, I had 3. Were there 4 or 5?
Goodrich, Pryor, Belknap, Grandview, the ski area, and
Marsh.
Dr. Marsh's.
So that's 5.
Yeah. Dr. Marsh on Pleasant Valley,
Yep, yep.
and he has an awesome one.
Okay, so you don't need that money for that?
No? But now we come into removing chickaroonies, which I'd love to ask the road agent to do. We have the one up at Stone and Four Corners, which is an interesting situation. It's been missing, it's not out of service, just been missing for quite a few years.
I think it's laying in
Is it
some
still?
brush along his fence line.
Okay.
Because I mowed through that section, and I didn't hit it, but I'm pretty sure that's where it is.
You noticed it?
I noticed it, yes.
Where's the pond?
Just the other side of the fence.
Where all the cat and nine tails are growing up now. It's another one that's fairly gravelly bottom, deep. I did go swimming in it one day unplanned, it's deep. But that hydrant should be repaired.
Okay, well, we have $2,000 we haven't spent.
Right, it's in there.
So you can manage that.
You know what, do you think you can do it for something less than $2,000?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Okay, you'll take care of that.
I'll take care of that.
Thank you. All right,
That takes care of dry hydrants.
now we can get out to the new business. Is that all right with you?
Sure, that's awesome.
All right, now help me understand, because I tried to do some research.
Yeah,
Which plan did we do 4 years ago?
the hazard mitigation plan, which I happen to bring you a copy of. All 140 pages of it for your
Don't,
reading pleasure.
don't. Don't, okay, so that's the hazard mitigation plan.
Correct.
And so the question that we have, there were some action items in there that I'm not sure what the Board of Selectmen or the town ever followed up on.
To this point, no, we have not. There are some that I do need to follow up on, which I've already started working on. A lot of it is planning, some of the recommendations in there to make more information available on the website, even including the plan. I don't know what we have for web availability. Depending upon how you look at that plan, what you use for viewer, it's somewhere between 8 and 25 megabytes. So I'm not sure, I don't know if there's enough storage on,
There's plenty of PDF storage.
okay.
Can you download that big? I don't know, it might have to be split up. I mean, can you download 25 megabytes worth of?
Yeah, they're on a thumb drive
Okay.
on my laptop, so I can give it to whoever.
Oh, well, that's not what I was saying. Can I download 25 megabytes? I don't know if I can, I don't know enough about the technology to, can you download a big file like that? You can, not an issue? Okay.
It's not always quick.
Oh, I understand, but we can take, you can download the whole thing, fine. So we can get it on the website.
So that file can be put up there. There are different components in there. Speaking of dry hydrants, there's a section on dry hydrants. I'm glad to hear that the master plan is in process. I'd like to work with the planning board on that and get some additional dry hydrant sites in there. So those are the types of things that are referenced in that plan. Then the other plan, so that, the hazmat plan tells us, is a roadmap as to how to prepare for emergencies of varying types. Then we have the emergency operations plan, circa April 1991. I'm willing to share this copy with the caveat that this is the only copy known to be left in existence. So I welcome you gentlemen to read it if you like to.
You keep it. From my perspective, you keep it.
Thank you.
Unless you guys want to read it. I'm good.
It's very enlightening reading. And that is a roadmap as to what to do in an emergency. So we have the hazard mitigation plan, which is how to plan for an emergency. Then we have the emergency operations plan of how to proceed if there is an emergency. Is this going to be,
So the question tonight is, are we going to move forward with that for $5,000, but net to the town of zero?
correct?
That's why you're here.
Yes, sir.
That's what. Heavy sigh. So tell us how the funding goes. Tell us, so everybody even on tape here knows how this works.
The cost of the plan is, I wanna say, around $6,500. The federal government gives us a cash grant of $5,000. We make up the remaining share as a soft match, which is through people's efforts participating in developing the plan. Everybody is assigned a $1 per hour value, and then the number of meetings they attend, the amount of work they do outside the meetings and so forth, generates our $1,500 soft match. Quite often it comes out to be more than that. So the town is billed for it, pays the bill is submitted to the state, and the state reimburses the town for what was paid. It's paid in either thirds or quarters.
So if we go ahead with it, we have $5,000 in the budget. We don't spend it all this year?
No,
Not enough time left.
no.
So it has to be into next year.
We well, we don't roll it over as operating, but we put it in for next year, part of it also.
Well, the thing is late as it is in the budget season and so forth, I'm not sure we could get this project started before January 1st anyway. I can work with the firm that does it and get a January start date on it, or we can start it earlier. It's however you'd like to go with it. Whatever's the cleanest for you folks.
How do we get up 1,500 hours?
$1,500, not hours.
Well, $1 an hour for the soft match.
Oh, no,
No, I have to submit a form.
20, and you're talking around $20 an hour for the soft match,
Per person?
per person, per hour.
Oh, okay.
Not dollar.
Not $1 an
No,
hour.
no, 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 no. So 15, so that's, what, 75 hours?
It's doable.
Yeah, it's very attainable. And the thing is, any of the public that attends the meetings is credited. Any town folks that attend the meeting are credited. The chief of police or one of his representatives usually comes to at least one meeting. Quite often, someone from the fire department will come to a meeting. So it's everybody. Eddie comes to a meeting, his road agent, code enforcement. He only gets credit once. He can't get credit for both titles. So that's how the soft match is developed.
Okay.
There's not really any downside on it other than those of us that have to spend some time outside the meetings working on it. The Fed's required to be updated every 5 years to maintain our eligibility for federal funds in the case of a disaster. If you're a couple years out of date, they probably wouldn't get too excited, but the fact that our plan is now 26 or whatever it is years old, I'm not sure how eager they would be to give us disaster assistance if it ever happened. In a disaster, it can be a hurricane or a tornado, like happened to the southern states. It could be a major wildfire that comes through. 3 or 4 triaxle fuel tankers in the road decide to blow up downtown.
So I guess what we have to do, because it's operating money, the town in March can vote to either do it or not do it in March. But we lose the $5,000 December 31st. It rolls over. We don't roll over. It's not a trust. So we can put it in the budget for next year and vote on it at town meeting, which is the second, you know what it is, the second Tuesday of March. But it's operating money. And that's the challenge. We run for 2 months without an authorized budget.
In that case, I'd rather start it this year instead of waiting until March.
Okay?
I'd rather get an earlier head start on it.
Okay. If we want to do it, we want to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. We had a date, and I'm more than willing to help.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's make a motion to move forward with it then. Move forward with the hazard mitigation plan.
No, emergency management plan.
Emergency Operations Plan. BOP.
Okay. Move forward with that.
All right, so make a motion, so we'll read it right now.
I'll make a motion that we authorize Brad to start revision to the emergency operations plan for the town of Brookfield.
I'll second motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, sir. One other question, if I may, or one other point. Speaking of emergencies, a month ago, we had the fire up on Tumbledown Dick. Don't have much new to report on that, other than I'm still waiting for the police report on it. They do have some things they're still investigating on it, so I'm not quite sure when that report will be out. But one problem we did have up there was communications. Particularly communication with one of our deputies, who has no type of radio communication whatsoever. As I don't believe you had radio either, Rich, did you? And this particular deputy even was injured up there and had no way to communicate about his injury until walking out. Getting to where other people were, he didn't walk all the way out from up there. I proposed to purchase a portable radio for him, probably something in the idea of an icon, and talking something less than $500. This would be used for a fire scene. I also look towards Deputy Williams to be assisting if there is some type of emergency. We would have to work in that capacity. That would also allow him to communicate with that.
Well, you got four reporters. So you only need one radio?
Correct. I've got one through emergency management. Janet has hers through Brookfield. Mike Moore has his, through Wakefield. Mike Moore has his through Wakefield. And that leaves Dave with no communication at all.
We put,
This is something that I didn't have in my initial budget request.
yeah, that's what I was trying to look at here.
How much do we have this, how much you spent?
Forest fire control.
Mary Lou, you know what we spent so far?
I've got to get the invoice to you, Mary Lou. It's
We can't over- go
For
over
what?
No, I'm trying to
the
see
equivalent
what
that I bought
money
the tools and uniforms and stuff.
We put it in uniforms, that would be.
Okay.
Uniform, we put it in equipment, but he spent it on uniforms.
Uniforms and hand tools. That was around 1,400.
Yeah, that was, we have a lot of money left in truck maintenance,
Yeah, we have a $35 bill, that's all.
so we can easily scoop that money out of truck maintenance.
Yep.
You're effectively allowed to manage the bottom line of the budget for your area. Because once the town authorizes the bottom line for that department,
Mhm.
you can do your thing.
Mhm.
We just make sure you can't go over your thing.
Yeah.
So,
So that's why I think the truck maintenance, there's plenty of surplus there, that gives,
Truck maintenance was something we thought we were going to have to address.
yeah,
Turns out we didn't, and that was $1,000.
right, so that takes care of the radio one right there.
I just don't want to, not comfortable making that size of expenditure without
I appreciate that.
letting the gentleman
Thank
know
you.
about it.
So, yeah,
yeah,
I'd say it's his call,
it's in budget.
it's a budget for you.
I'll take care of it. Thank you very much. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
While we're still on
Sure.
the fire, did you ever talk to Laura about the Class 6 road?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
because we know that Wakefield said tires and wear and tear because they got rocks sticking out of the
I
road.
didn't really want,
Police lost a tire on their cruiser.
well, here's what, I'm not supposed to quote what lawyers say, unless it's in writing. But I'll do it this way. If you read the RSAs, access has to be granted to Class 6 roads. It doesn't say vehicle access, it says access. Therefore, if you want to put a bar up, we're allowed on a Class 6 road. As long as people can walk around it, get around it, it's legit.
Okay.
Nowhere does it say vehicle access.
Okay.
So that's,
But it doesn't solve our problem.
well, we can fix it and put a gate up.
Okay.
Well, you gotta talk to Wolfboro, because they come in from Wolfboro too.
Okay, so the point is, we can go ahead and get those rocks moved.
Well, or put fill on top of them until the next rainstorm, because it's ledgy.
Yes, yeah,
A lot of those rocks you're not gonna.
you're not gonna move, you have to jackhammer them, you have to bury them, right?
Can we make improvements to Class 6 roads?
Well, that's where I was going with this, that,
For emergency vehicles.
For,
Emergency vehicles.
does the RSA specifically states to fire lanes? And you can, the town can expend money on a fire lane without adopting it in another way.
okay, we were just gonna squirrel through the class 6 and doing any improvement, so.
Yeah, the issue was, once we approve it, everybody's going up there. We all drive up. Right?
Yeah, we'd make it a lot shorter getting to all of them, I can tell you.
Everybody can go that way once you pave it.
So improve the gate,
If we're
fire
gonna,
line.
if we're gonna do that.
It's clearly not a priority for this fall. There'll be snow on the ground in the next, few months.
Yes.
So it's clearly gonna be next summer.
I think if we're gonna do it, we should talk to Wolfboro too, because both ends have to be barred.
Yeah.
If we're gonna try to keep the fires to a minimum up there.
I agree.
Or, well,
So let's work on it.
Because I'm all for barring it, but I also think, when our responders are saying our vehicle's getting destroyed,
I think they lost 3 tires.
that's not good.
It's, I went up there and I took an ATV up, and that was a challenge in itself. Altman's, is it Farmington near the truck? No, Acton's near the truck, Wakefield's near the truck. And I don't know how they made it, quite honestly. As a side note, Brian, yeah, snow is coming. We've been very fortunate up to this week. The life is very dry out there. What's been helping us out has been the high humidity.
Yeah,
That's dropping Thursday.
it goes down. I haven't seen much rain in the forecast either.
And, so I am getting a little concerned about that.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed so we can get through and get some rain, but I'm just, project-wise, do we have time to get up there and sign it?
No, don't worry about that. Just
Yeah,
keep in mind that.
gotcha, oh yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're moving ahead. Any other public comments before we go into bills and mail and a non-public session? Okay, let's do mail. We've got a mail from the Cotton Valley Trail Committee to remind everybody that this Saturday, the 30th at 10:15 down on,
Cotton Valley Road.
at the Cotton Valley Road, Cotton Mountain Road intersection, back there in the country. That's the other end of,
Cottle Hill.
Okay.
yeah, Cottle Hill. 10:15, they're gonna put the spike in.
Rich, I just make a quick comment. That's been in progress since the late 1980s. I closed the railroad in 1986, and we started that program shortly after. Richmond wrote a grant for an application for $250,000. That's that kicked the whole thing off back then. So it is quite an accomplishment.
12
Any town
miles
officials that could attend it would be awesome.
between Wolfboro
Wolfboro.
and Turntable Park.
Goes from Wolfboro Station downtown all the way to downtown Sangerville.
They just completed that Clark Road to
Yeah.
Wolfboro.
Yes. Anything else from mail? No, no other mail. I don't think we had any other mail. Do we, Brian?
That was it.
Okay, let's do the bills. Now, we're gonna change the way we do bills again.
Going back to the old
We're
way.
going to the old way. We're no more manifest. I like to know what we're paying. We're gonna read each bill. So,
Here's the bills.
we're old fashioned, but that's the way it is. Or we can just sign a manifest and pay the manifest, and then we lose visibility to what we're,
All right, so you just want me to read them off?
please.
Freedom Printed Ware, we had 500 security check envelopes.
No, it's the checks themselves.
I'm sorry, I read too far
Your
here.
supply of checks.
500 security checks, excuse me, not the envelopes we're getting from these guys, for $136.45.
And it should be here.
State of New Hampshire, these are vital statistic records that we get, subsequent copy fees, marriage licenses and civil union licenses, $48 for those.
And that's actually August, we pay September.
How do we skip?
The beauty of it.
All right, we have a bill from Crowell's, $35 for state inspection on the fire
Oh,
truck.
that was back in April, May.
Well, you gotta pay it.
They just got us the
I
bill.
just got the bill this
Oh, no, I'm
week.
not saying, I'm just saying.
We got 2 Eversource bills, one for 1632, and the others is for 142.56.
42, and the other one was what?
16.
16.
Meter charge.
Town's construction, billing for 9/9 through 9/23, screen materials at sand shed, backhoe, screener, 24 hours each, total due $4,032. Okay, so this is a duplicate Croswell?
Oh, yeah,
Cross out.
yeah.
CMP property home maintenance, mowing cemetery, $125.
Happens out of the cemetery fund.
Cemetery fund. The town of Wolfboro, for 604 residents at $6.98. Total bills $4,216 for Department of Parks and Recs. Or,
No, this is the MS 535 for you and Rich to sign.
Let's take a motion to, I'll make a motion that we pay the bills that we just read.
a second? Oh, okay.
Second.
Okay,
All in favor?
all right.
Okay. Now we've got to sign the MS
535.
535.
That's right.
We did the MS1, total property value went up to 94 million, 94,300, 94,300,000. That's up about $1 million. That's good.
It's all your house.
Yeah, right, mine didn't change, Philip. Trust me.
And I printed off from the New Hampshire Municipal Association the important dates for 2018 town March meeting.
Oh, yes, I have
We
things.
just got the calendar thing in there, so.
And I wanted to ask Lori in
Just,
public,
no, Rick doesn't sign that. Stop, please.
who would do it, because he wasn't a selectman then?
He wasn't a selectman.
You weren't a selectman.
Sorry.
Norms.
Would you send that, it's budget time, would you send a blurb out to all the departments that maybe December 1st we have the budget in?
Yeah, let's get moving.
Give them 2 months to get the budgets in?
Sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun again.
Oh, is it?
And we're gonna do some cemetery work, you just have to decide when we're gonna do that. All right,
Yeah, transit work,
yeah,
Friday, right?
we can do Friday, but Judith is not gonna be there, so it's Thursday or Friday.
Oh, you should remind people of your coffee.
Yes, and we have a coffee.
Saturday.
Saturday, 8 to 10,
At the townhouse.
at the townhouse. The sign's going up tomorrow. Very generic, Saturday coffee. 8 to 10, be there. And we have to do non-public.
So we can send off that transit work till next week, right?
Sure. I'll borrow one, and if he wants it back, and we have access to another one, we'll do it.
Yeah, we have it all.
So you want to do it next week?
Is ours going back next week?
Nope. I just don't know when he's gonna ask for it.
Let's do it next week.
Okay.
Town coffee next weekend, Sid?
No, this coming weekend sometime.
What do you
So
say?
we're talking about, we have to true up in the cemetery.
Oh,
We
okay.
have to true up where the gravestones go.
Oh, okay.
We hit a little wobble, really, so we're gonna put a transit to it and get them straight before they're up.
Mr. Chairman, would you like a real transit?
What kind of real transit?
A buff and buff, 1920s, 1930s.
I can use that.
Can you?
Can't use the one we have, it's a laser one.
We're gonna get a list.
We got a laser one, and you don't even have to level it. You just put it there, and it levels
Yeah,
itself.
well, my laser's not that fancy, but my buff and buff is, if you want to use it.
Yeah, we got one, think we might have to use it. Okay, we
All
have to go to
I'm gonna make
non-public.
a motion, we go into non-public based upon RSA 91A, colon 3, Roman numeral 2B, hiring of any person as a public employee. And we would also need to go in for non-public for,
I don't think we're doing that, Brian.
okay, we're not doing that one then. No, okay, so just for the hiring.
Mr. Chairman, before you think about one quick question, to get the stuff on the website for emergency management, you gentlemen want to see an overall plan of it, or really just roll the wire to get the stuff up there, or how would that work?
Yeah, we're not gonna add a lot of value to that.
Well, no, I just didn't know if you wanted to see an umbrella plan of what we'd be putting up, or just.
Do we have an emergency management page?
I believe there's a button for it, but there's nothing in
Okay, that's where it would go.
it. Yeah.
As long as we don't, we're running out of capacity on our websites.
I was gonna say, I'll have to take a look at it, and I do think that I'll have to call virtual town hall, because I do think that they'll have to be involved, maybe in uploading the file that large. I've had some trouble with a large file before, but.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So we need a roll call on, need a second.
Second.
Need a roll call on that?
Yes, please.
All right.
Brian Robisheau?
Yes. Zachary, yes?
Surrette, yes.
All right, go on to the warm office.
It's so cool out here.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody left. It's only only 7:30. Why? Why am I going here? All right.
Coming out of non-public?
Make a motion to come out of non-public.
Okay, I'll second the motion to go out of non-public.
We need a roll call.
Brian Robisheau, yes?
Zachary, yes?
Surrette, yes.
You need to seal the minutes first if you're going to,
We don't need to.
and then the roll call.
Well, I would assume it's for a year. Just so, if he doesn't take the job, they don't take the job.
Oh, okay.
So we'll seal him for a year, okay? Make a motion, seal him for a year.
Second motion.
All right,
Okay. All right, so.
No.
roll call.
Again? Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Go ahead.
Brian Robisheau, yes.
Zachary, yes.
Surrette, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna offer someone a job for assessor clerk. Wanna make the phone call? What, not you?
Thank you.
I know, the way you say it though, I'm like, what's she doing?
So what do you think?
I'll do the background check
Okay, that's what I'm looking at you for.
and write the letter of hire, but hey,
And we've been toying with moving assessor clerk hours to Thursdays. The rationale being Diana comes in every other Friday, so we have someone here every other Friday. He would come in on Thursday, provide some office hours support. That's just for public information. I'll call him tomorrow. All right, let's see. Anything else? All right, meeting's adjourned.
Of course, we never say that.
Wait till we start budget, you'll see it in midnight.